Well, we have a few more days of these hot temperatures that you see here really plaguing Southern California. Taking it here to San Diego County, an excessive heat warning for our inland neighborhoods, a heat advisory for our coastal neighborhoods through Monday night. We could see some of our coastal neighborhoods hit the 90-degree mark. We actually broke a record yesterday. It was so hot. It's going to be pretty widespread into the evening hours. This is what you're going to be waking up to. 6 a.m. Some heavy pockets of rain here, especially between Valley Center and Escondido. It's going to be impacting the entire county. We're expecting the heaviest rain between Monday and Tuesday. Monday by 7:30 in the morning, we're expecting well over 1.5 inches in Fallbrook, Oceanside, Vista, 1.25 inches in Escondido, 1.25 inches in La Jolla, nearly 1 inch in San Diego, and those totals will continue to climb. We're expecting upwards of 4 inches of rain along our coastline.
And just another cloudy start. That marine layer pretty stubborn today.
It sure is. I mean, you can't see anything out of our Chula Vista Skycam this morning, but you can see it really plaguing downtown San Diego early this morning. Taking a look at Carlsbad, same thing. You're waking up to 60 degrees in San Diego right now, 53 in Kearny Mesa, 58 degrees in Oceanside, 57 in El Cajon, and 53 in Ramona. The marine layer isn't impacting visibility as much as it was yesterday morning. Where it is impacting, though, is in some of our inland neighborhoods. We're down to 2.5 miles of visibility in Ramona. I have our pinpoint Doppler live here fired up for you, showing you the monsoon activity that we are seeing over our mountain and deserts right now. You see a large cell forming over the Mount Laguna area, firing up our rain cloud futurecast. You see those cells are going to continue to linger from the Borrego Springs area all the way down to Campo through 1 o'clock this afternoon. It'll become a little bit more isolated by 2:30 this afternoon, and those cells should clear out by 6:30 tonight. And then we'll see that monsoonal moisture drop into the weekend. It's also very hot outside, so hot and muggy, not my favorite mix of things, but we will start to dry out, like I said, starting tomorrow. We're under a heat advisory still. It was extended in our inland and mountain neighborhoods until Thursday at 10 o'clock at night. That excessive heat warning extended until Friday evening in our deserts.
Yeah, and it was really cold this morning, Sierra. I couldn't believe it.
It was, but we're going to warm up. It's really going to be a rinse and repeat of yesterday. But let's take a look outside right now. We have a beautiful sunrise over Pacific Beach. It's going to be another great beach day for us in the books in San Diego. Right now, you're waking up to 53 degrees in San Diego, 53 in Kearny Mesa, 43 pretty chilly there in Oceanside, 38 degrees right now in Ramona. Like I mentioned, things are going to warm up to about 72 degrees along our coastline, 82 in our inland communities, 76 in our mountains, 93 in our deserts. We're going to warm up. We're going to be a bit warmer than we were yesterday. We're going to be closer to seasonal for this time of year. We're going to have a high of 67 in the San Diego area today. We're going to be in the 70s in our inland neighborhoods, a high of 73 for Escondido, 74 in Julian today, triple digits for our deserts, and we will remain there over the next 7 days. Taking a look as those waves wash up in Pacific Beach early this morning. Look at some surfers out there looking to catch the waves. Looks like we are going to start seeing pockets of sunshine around noon today. We'll peak out at about 67 degrees by 2 o'clock this afternoon, back down to the low 60s by 8 o'clock tonight. And taking a look to the rest of your work week, we're going to be near seasonal for this time of year over the next 7 days. We're not going to see too much change along our coastline. The marine layer, we're going to wake up to it for the rest of the week. That May gray is going to turn into June gloom, and we're going to see some westerly winds plague our mountain and deserts today and tomorrow.
Yeah, and the weather looking pretty good all the way to Thanksgiving, you were saying.
Yeah, we do have some changes on the way, but today is a beautiful beach day. So if you have nothing to do, pack up, you're heading to the beach because Ciara Encinas said so, apparently. Taking a look outside at our Pacific Beach Skycam. It's a beautiful morning for that beach walk. Temperatures at 64 degrees. Wind's pretty calm right now. The sun is going to set just after 4:45 this afternoon. Waking up around the rest of the county, sitting at 62 degrees up in North County and Oceanside, 59 in Escondido. Warner Springs, you are sitting at 53 degrees, 69 degrees right now in Borrego Springs. If you are headed to the coastline, we will peak out at about 2 o'clock today at 68 degrees. Then we'll trickle down into the upper 50s by 10 o'clock tonight. In our inland communities, you're waking up to the 60s right now. We'll remain there. We'll top out at about 69 degrees at 2 o'clock this afternoon. Then we'll trickle down to the mid 50s overnight. And overnight, we're also going to see some Santa Ana's build. Taking a look at our highs around the county, we're going to be in the upper 60s along our coastline, upper 60s in our inland communities, 53 in Julian, 79 in Borrego Springs. Today, we're experiencing gusty winds in our mountains and deserts. Taking a look right now, 37 miles per hour in Ocotillo Wells, 22 miles per hour in Julian. Well, those gusts are going to shift because Santa Ana's are making their way in overnight. Monday morning at 3:30 in the morning, we're looking at gusts at 7 miles per hour in Ramona, 14 miles per hour in Escondido, and they will continue to build. So much so that we have some watches and warnings to tell you about. So right now, we are going to be under a wind advisory in our mountain and desert communities, and that will linger through this afternoon. A high wind watch will begin tomorrow afternoon in our mountain and inland communities. We could see gusts up to 60 miles per hour in some of those communities. Sustained winds anywhere from 20 to 30 miles per hour. Taking a look along our coastline over the next 7 days, we're going to see temperatures jump because of those Santa Anas. So we're looking at a high of 73 as we start the work week. 75 by Tuesday. We'll cool down heading into Thanksgiving. We're looking at a high of 67 along our coastline on Thanksgiving. In our inland communities, look at that jump there. Almost 10 degrees warmer tomorrow. Looking at a high of 77 degrees, 80 degrees by Tuesday. Time to put those jackets and flannels away on Tuesday, but bring them back out for Thanksgiving because we'll be back down to 70 degrees. In our mountain communities, looking at a high of 53 today. We'll see the 50s trend until Wednesday. We'll see a high of 62 then, lows in the 40s. In our desert communities, we're going to see the 70s trend over the next 7 days. Thanksgiving, 79 degrees.
My family in Northern California, they're getting the warnings about the rivers and the rain coming down, and it's coming down to us now, right?
Absolutely. They're probably already seeing some windy, rainy conditions up there all the way through the central coast. The storm's going to make its way into LA County, then Orange County, and then it's going to come here to San Diego by this evening. Let's break it down. We're looking at our satellite radar right now. You can see it's really trickling into the LA area. San Diego looking pretty dry right now. That is until the evening when a flood watch takes effect at 4 o'clock this afternoon. That's going to last until Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. Let's pinpoint when the rain is going to make its way to San Diego. So this is about 3:30 this afternoon. You see it's trickling in there over the Palomar Mountain area, even flirting with Camp Pendleton. Well, as we head into 8 o'clock tonight, you can see a heavier cell over Fallbrook, but you can see it's really making its way in. We'll see some cells in Chula Vista, El Cajon, all over the North County. It's going to be pretty widespread into the evening hours. This is what you're going to be waking up to. 6 a.m. Some heavy pockets of rain here, especially between Valley Center and Escondido. It's going to be impacting the entire county. We're expecting the heaviest rain between Monday and Tuesday. Monday by 7:30 in the morning, we're expecting well over 1.5 inches in Fallbrook, Oceanside, Vista, 1.25 inches in Escondido, 1.25 inches in La Jolla, nearly 1 inch in San Diego, and those totals will continue to climb. We're expecting upwards of 4 inches of rain along our coastline. This atmospheric river is also bringing some gusty winds. Those are going to start to pick up as the storm rolls in. By 12 o'clock this afternoon, we're going to see gusts at 17 miles per hour in Oceanside, 22 miles per hour in La Jolla, 16 miles per hour in El Cajon, 23 miles per hour in San Diego. All these warnings and advisories have been triggered by this storm making its way in. We have that flood watch Sunday through Wednesday. We're going to see heavy rain at times. We have a wind advisory through Monday morning. We are going to see winds coming out of the southeast at 25 miles per hour, gusts up to 35, even 40 miles per hour in some areas. We also have a high surf advisory taking place later this afternoon, lasting all the way through Monday evening. We're going to see waves anywhere from 6 to 8 feet. Local surf could reach up to 10 feet. And as we take a look outside right now, this is the calm before the storm. This is Del Mar Dog Beach. Temperatures in Del Mar sitting at 52 degrees right now. It feels like 54. Winds very slight right now coming out of the east at 6 miles per hour. The sun is going to set as that storm rolls in to San Diego County. Today's highs, we're looking at the 60s in our inland and coastal communities, a high of 53 in Julian and a high of 66 in our deserts. Taking a look along the coastline, we're going to see things in the low 60s, and the chance of rain lingers through next weekend. We'll see that it'll start to dry out by Saturday. Lows are going to be in the 40s and in the 50s. In our inland communities to start off the week, we're going to be at 60 degrees. Rainy, we're going to drop down to the upper 50s Tuesday through Friday, back to the low 60s by Saturday. Lows are going to be in the 40s and 50s there as well. In our mountain communities, we have snow to talk about. That's going to impact snow levels of about the elevation of about 5,000 feet. We're going to see anywhere from 1/10 of an inch to 1 inch of snowfall in those areas Tuesday through Thursday. Temperatures are going to be in the 40s there for a majority of the next 7 days. In our desert communities, we're going to be sitting in the 60s over the next 7 days with lows in the 40s. So let's prepare now. Get those last minute sandbags, secure those outdoor items, and be prepared because flooding could be likely, especially with these heavy rainfall that we're expecting to see tomorrow. These early morning temperatures sitting at 60 degrees right now in Coronado. The wind fairly calm. If you want to try to catch the sunset tonight, it's going to be just before 6:10. Temperatures around the rest of the county. Looks like we are waking up to 50s and 60s scattered around the board. A little bit chillier in Warner Springs at 40 degrees, 55 in Oceanside, 68 in La Jolla, 59 for our deserts. We are a bit warmer than we were at this time yesterday, believe it or not, even though it's a little chilly right now. Like I mentioned, things are going to warm right on up. We're going to be sitting in the 70s along our coastline today. Some of the warmer spots, Oceanside and Coronado with a high of 75, 72 for the high in San Diego. We're going to be sitting in the 80s in the majority of the interior part of our county. We're looking at the low 80s in Escondido, Poway, and Fallbrook, upper 70s in places like San Marcos, Vista, looking at a high of 79. We're going to be sitting at 79 in Alpine, 64 in Mount Laguna. Definitely feeling like a nice fall day there. And we're going to be in the mid 80s in our deserts. Taking a look at our wind speeds right now, they're at about 5 miles per hour in Carlsbad. We are seeing some easterly flow right now, but they are calm around most of the rest of the county. By this afternoon, we could see gusts jump up to about 25 miles per hour. This is 2 p.m. this afternoon. We're looking at them at about 22 miles per hour in Campo at that time, 18 miles per hour in Julian, 20 miles per hour in Warner Springs. Taking a look along our coastline over the next 7 days, we aren't seeing temperatures fluctuate too much. We will drop a little bit heading into next weekend. Meanwhile, inland, we're going to continue to see this warming trend through midweek. We'll be looking at a high of 84 in Escondido by Wednesday. Then we'll gradually start to cool down. Our mountain neighborhood's going to be hitting the 80-degree mark on Wednesday, and our deserts are going to be flirting with the triple digits by Wednesday and Thursday of this week. Then they'll be back down to the mid-90s heading into the weekend. Right now, visibility is looking pretty good on our roadways. Here's a beautiful shot of Carlsbad. I have it up because it looks so dreamy with that cotton candy sky. Temperatures in Carlsbad sitting at 65 degrees. The wind calm out there right now. If you want to try to catch the sunset tonight, it's going to be just before 7:30. Temperatures across the rest of the county, we are in the 50s, 60s, even 70s in our coastal and inland neighborhoods. La Jolla waking up to 70 degrees, 58 in Ramona right now, 92 degrees in Ocotillo Wells. We are a bit warmer than we were at this time yesterday, and that's because today is supposed to be the hottest day of the week. We're going to see temperatures in the upper 70s, low 80s along our coastline. Coronado looking at a high of 82 today, 80 down in Chula Vista, 90s for our inland neighborhoods, 94 for the high in Escondido. Let's travel a little closer to our mountains. Ramona looking at a high of 101 today, 112 for our deserts. As we take it hour by hour in our inland neighborhoods, we're going to be in the low 70s at 8 o'clock, but jump up to the 90s by noon. We'll peak out at about 96 degrees at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, back down to the 80s by 8 o'clock tonight. As we take a look along our coastline over the next 7 days, we are welcoming in a nice cool down. We're going to see some beautiful dreamy beach weather by Thursday. It's going to be a great weekend to spend at one of our several beaches. Lows are going to be in the 60s. Our inland neighborhoods dropping down to the 80s by tomorrow, low 80s heading into the weekend. We're looking at a high of 81 by Saturday, and then we're going to start to warm up again as we head into next work week. In our mountains, we are tracking a very slight chance of showers tomorrow. We're going to continue to pinpoint that for you. Our lows are going to be in the 50s and 60s over the next 7 days. Meanwhile, in our deserts, we will be saying goodbye to the 110 mark, down to the low 100s, even hitting a high of 98 by Saturday. Time now is 6:18, and we have a lot to talk about this morning on our roadways. Let's start off in our North County. There is a closure on the 78 in both directions between Broadway and the 15. So this is really impacting the Escondido area. If you're driving towards San Marcos this morning, you're going to want to take an alternate route. You see that traffic is crawling in both directions there, and it is completely stopped at the 15 on-ramp. As we take it down to our East County, there is a crash on the 94 heading westbound on the entry ramp from Kelton Road. Give yourself some extra drive time there. It looks like a crash just cleared in the Bankers Hill area.